Say, man, welcome to another episode of the War Zone. We'll be working without the music tonight. I'm out of town and attending the festival, so I'm not available to put the music up. But I got Donovan Sadiq in the building, the Queen Demetra K, and I am the five-star general. I will start it off by saying that according to what we understand, that Lily Sector will resign her position as chair of the Democratic Party in Houston. You needed to resign because you were garbage. You affiliated yourself with an organization that did nothing but cheat and misrepresent the Democratic Party. You've gotten caught several different times. So in case y'all didn't know, the ghost candidate in 142, Jared Davis' house being an empty lot, knowing about it, didn't do anything about it, kept certain people out the races that should have been in the races. But from what we understand, she's going to resign her position, and that's a beautiful thing. So don't let the doorknob hit you with a good large split you on your way out the room. We'll holler at you. Donovan, what's happening?
Yeah, and let me do a quick follow-up. Now, that was the lady that was illegally in the seat, correct?
No, Lily Sector was the president. She was the
Okay.
chairperson that allowed all of this to go on.
Okay.
And,
Gotcha.
nobody, I think I was one of the only people that really called her out on it besides Aubrey Taylor, called her out on a bunch of stuff, and it's just time for her to go. So maybe the Democratic Party might be looking at some symbolism now, maybe an African American, because the precinct chairs should be the ones that get to choose who takes her spot. You know, um, I don't really care what they do. I mean, they're garbage, and it doesn't surprise me that she would step down.
Man, I'm talking about, surprises, people stepping down. We talk about black girl magic. It seems in the last couple of months, it's been nothing but black girl tragic, because in the news today, just this afternoon, a couple hours ago, Patrice Cullors announced that she is leaving Black Lives Matter. Her basic statement is, she said that she was asked to return on a temporary basis. And she said from her YouTube channel, "I feel excited for me and my next journey." Cullors revealed that in the end of 2019, she had stepped back from the organization, but people within Black Lives Matter asked her to come back during last summer's uprising. "I didn't make a public announcement. I really wanted to see the next generation of leadership lead." Now, what is so tragic about this is she really leaving for the mere fact that all that money was raised and nobody seems to know where it's gone? And then she's leaving, for all we know, she could have taken allegedly $60 million and just walks straight out the door. But, it's just funny how the rats, leave the ship as the ship is sinking. But yet, when they could make money or be in the streets and make money off of a tragic incident, they're the first in the forefront, but then they quietly roach out in the end. And as you guys know, also in the news, the Senate did not pass the January 6th investigation because, these people are in a cult and they love Trump and all that other good stuff, which is perfectly fine if that's what you're going to do. But you mean to tell me somebody can attack the United States Capitol, but because they're white, you don't want to do an investigation to see how this happened, even though the FBI and our intelligence agencies, which we give trillions of our tax dollars to since 9/11, did not foresee all of this stuff happening via the social media sites and all the other instruments that they have. So it is said Nancy Pelosi is going to do an impanel her own Democratic investigation by themselves. But again, it's funny how they have all this money to do all this stuff at a notice, just boom, boom, they can do all this stuff. And then when it comes to stuff for black people, it has to be put on the back burner because this is more important. This has got to be put on the back burner. This is more important. So here we are chasing our tails. And once again, for all of you Biden-Harris supporters, how do you hold them accountable once they're in office? This man's been in office for 130 days officially tomorrow. 130 days officially tomorrow, and has done nothing for the black people. I don't think he's ever going to do anything for the black people because it makes no sense.
Biden's not gonna do anything, bro. I mean, those that don't, they just happy that he there. They getting what they want. Those that know he's not doing nothing, yet they don't want to hold him accountable. That's what it is. I mean, I can't do stupid Negroes no more in my world. I can't do them. So if they comfortable with not getting none, who are we to try to change that cycle? We don't need to change that for them, man. They ain't gonna. First of all, if you waiting on the Republicans to get Trump, that wasn't gonna happen. It wasn't gonna happen. I'm just telling you like it is. It wasn't gonna happen. If it would have been a Democrat, they wouldn't have went after him. The Democrats wouldn't have went after him. So I mean, it goes both ways. I mean, I hope people understand that. They not finna just mess up their party for nobody. They wasn't gonna go after Trump to begin with. So I mean, people just ended up dead on that day, and that's the end of that.
You
So
know,
I don't know what to say on it.
yeah, and the sad thing about that, the officer that was killed, the highlighted officer that was killed actually at the insurrection, no Republican senator wants to meet with her to talk about it. And here's a white woman now. This is a white woman. And she's just like, what's happening here? I don't even get the courtesy of somebody explaining to me, how did my son end up dead in a situation that was basically controllable? And also, I owe you guys an apology, because I told you guys, and I'm sitting here complaining and hollering about the Congressional Black Caucus, correct? Here's the thing with the Congressional Black Caucus. I went back last night and I started reading the Hispanic Caucus. And the Hispanic Caucus's bylaws actually say what they do. And they say that they advocate for laws and conditions for Hispanic people. Went to the Asian Caucus group, whatever they call themselves, Pan-African Asians, whatever. They said that they advocate for Asians, better lives, legislation and so on for specifically their group. Then I went back to the Congressional Black Caucus, and their bylaws says they advocate for everybody. You know what that means when they say everybody? Just like when we're included in everybody type stuff, we're the least likely to benefit. So the Congressional Black Caucus, if you guys go look at their webpage, they specifically say they don't represent Black people. So I owe you guys an apology. I owe the CBC an apology. We're out here by ourselves, guys. And that's the damn truth about it.
Why would the oppressor fix an oppressed system? Why would he do that? Why would the oppressor fix an oppressed system that the oppressor benefits from? You see what I'm saying? So for those that live on the planet Earth, because really me, I'm from Pluto. I'm from Pluto. We don't get down like y'all get down on Earth down here. We do things totally different on Pluto. We hold people accountable. And if they don't have a problem with anything, I realistically think we should just leave it alone. Let them live like savages. Let them live, not get nothing. You came inches away from. People don't understand the magnitude of what could have happened if they would have taken over the Capitol. They don't understand. You'd have been right back in slavery after that day. You don't understand. You're not angry enough. That's how I know that you don't understand. You're not angry. You're not confused. You're not delusional. You just walking around normal. You came inches away, and you don't even realize it. Donovan?
So, as you guys know, the 5-star is out of town right now, and he's back up in Minnesota, I believe. Give us a rundown what's happening up there. Or I'm sorry, you're in Tulsa. I'm sorry, Oklahoma. Give us a rundown what's happening up there.
Oh, in Tulsa? I'm actually at the Black Wall Street Festival. I took a break to come and do this show. Um, But it's just a good day, man. A lot of Pan African and stuff going on. A lot of everything that you can eat is black owned. Um, good thing. We actually on Greenwood Avenue, where some things actually took place during the time that Black Wall Street was burned down. So we actually over here on Greenwood Avenue. It's a smorgasbord of stuff that they're gonna go through this weekend: marches, gun marches, symposiums, just different things. But right now it's the first day. I think they got John Legend that's supposed to perform or something. So it's gonna be pretty powerful.
And since there are going to be a lot of festivities this week, and they're basically celebrating the 100th centennial year of that incident happening, um, is there a lot of like black businesses that are going to be posting up and putting their thing out? And what I'm saying is this: here in California, when you think of a black business, it's some kind of food chain. Is there are there going to be other kind of things to kind of go and participate in, and other like black business stores, black beauty shops? Is it something that's different than Houston, different than California?
Uh, can you hear me? Um, I don't know. I mean, like I say, I just got here yesterday. Everything is kind of cranking up today, so we'll see. But I know all the vendors that are out here are African American, except for maybe two, and one of them was Latino that had lemonade. So I'm kicking it with the lemonade people, me. But I spent money with my people for sure. A lot of art that's for sale. If you're into art, it's a good place to be to get you some art and not pay a bunch of money, but get some high quality art. So it's an event that black people need to be at. You scream you want to know your history, well, go where your history at. So like I tell people, if you've been to L.A. and you ain't been to the Watchtower, you ain't trying to learn your history.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, I don't know, 'cause I know you're tired from traveling and stuff yesterday and everything. There was a young lady that was on CBS, or I think it was CBS, and she was from Tulsa, and she was talking in regards, and she's a direct descendant of one of the Tulsa survivors and stuff like that, and she's also part Native. And she was talking about how what had happened, and being kicked out of the native tribe that she's a part of, as most blacks were kicked out of these tribes, because when you want to be civilized, you got to definitely step on the black person, and that's one thing that these American native taught the natives to do. But she was on there in the interview, and then she started going toward reparations. I don't know if you saw that part, and then the interview ended very, very quickly because she started going into the reparations aspect of it. Is there any thought or any thoughts of reparations within the people down there talking about what they need or anything, or what they're due?
I heard anybody speaking on reparations since I've been at the festival for about maybe 6 hours. I'll be here a little bit longer. I haven't heard anybody speak. The thing is reparations. We deserve it. But in my mind, I get it. So I mean, I just see it happening, and that's why it's sort of like the more we talk about it, the less I talk about it because we not. So ain't no sense of me break it down, and I ain't got time for all that. I'd rather be eating a big ass piece of chicken. You see what I'm saying? Instead of talking, we ain't getting it. We these motherfuckers accountable on nothing. So how we gonna force them to give us reparations? Can't even make them do what they need to do. How we gonna force them to make reparations? I just don't believe we gonna get it, bro.
I don't think we're going to get it in our lifetime or whatever, but it is still a debt that is owed and must be paid sooner or later. So, if we could elect the right people into office, and get the people that are actually going to do the work, uh, Maybe, I don't know, but not. But I agree with you. Not in our lifetime, but I'm still going to be asking for that. Um, there was also a report when they were talking today, and these are for everybody that's listening tonight on Free Flow Friday. Here's the deal, and they were talking about it on, I think, Professor Black Truth's channel or something. In 9 years, the black vote will be irrelevant. It will be irrelevant. It won't matter anymore. We talk about, people think it's a joke of going back into slavery. I don't think it's a joke. I think it's something that is actually could happen in the economic stance. We're already economically challenged. So in the economic stance, I think that it can still happen. So in 9 years, you guys, you got to realize we will be politically impotent. We won't have any political power to push any type of legislation. Our numbers aren't growing, none of that. So 5-star, have you heard, especially as a lawyer, have you heard about the 9-year stance in becoming politically irrelevant?
I don't think we have to wait 9 years. I think we're politically irrelevant right now. I don't think we have the wherewithal to make anything move politically. We can't seem to get anything done. And like I say, it's a handful of people that's going to the Capitol or going and speak in front of City Council. A handful, when it's gonna take far more than that. And we can sit here and debate on it every single day. We could talk about it. We are irrelevant as a people. How the hell do a man that had no shot of winning if he didn't the black vote, get the black vote, promise you the moon, get in office, and then shit on you, and you ain't gonna do nothing about it? And you think we politically irrelevant? We irrelevant now. And they gonna keep shitting on us. They gonna keep lying to us. We gonna keep falling for it. And then we gonna wake up one morning in some chains.
Yeah. It's a so basically in this theory, for you guys that are listening, that means 9 years we're going to have no political power. Nobody's going to listen to us. So we have 9 years to change our trajectory in what we're going to be doing. If we keep doing the same old thing, we are, like 5-star said, basically we are relevant right now. We've got the votes to enact legislation. Asians got something, and they don't even have the votes, and they've got something, but they've got the most important thing, the money, so they can buy their politicians. As far as the black wealth, they're saying that's going to be a non-factor. So if you put in lack of wealth in the black community and you put in political irrelevancy, 5-star, as a litigator, as a lawyer, what are your thoughts that equates to?
I need you to say that question again. I don't want to get it confused. I'm trying to
Okay.
understand what you're asking me.
Yeah, what I'm saying is when you've got a lack of wealth in the community and you have political irrelevancy, what, in your opinion, what does that equal up to?
Niggerism.
Right. Right.
The thing is, man, we really we have enough wealth to do anything that we want to do. But we wastefully spend our wealth on shit that don't make no sense. You know, I hear everybody, the thing about Clubhouse, I like Clubhouse, but I don't go as much because everybody's an expert at something. So when it comes to the African American community, we have all these experts that know what's best for us. And I'm not talking about the white man, I'm talking about the black man. We got all these experts that know what's best for us, but yet we still can't figure it out. If we know all this here, then what's the problem? We just have to accept our reality, man. And reality for me is to wake up 5-star and just do what you do for you, man. It's hard to keep fighting for a culture that ain't fighting for themselves.
agree with that. Now, while you're up there in Tulsa, let me ask you this. 'Cause I always tell people, people are the same everywhere, and I've traveled, a lot of places. Does Tulsa, and I've been to Tulsa before, but I mean, does it look similar to what you're used to in Houston? Does it have its Ninth Ward? Does it have its upscale area? Does it have its gentrified area?
Man, let me tell you something, man. I've been all through Oklahoma, man. I've been through Missouri and I went to truck driving school in Missouri. You had the same shit in every city, man. If there's a population of over 100,000 people, you're going to have the same thing in every city. And I've been to, and that's what amazed me. Like when I would go to Oakland or go to LA, then I'm like, damn, that shit just like New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? Dallas, man, that's just South Dallas, man, that's like New Orleans, man. And then the further you keep going, you got neighborhoods in Atlanta. Oh, that shit, that's just like Oakland. So, the thing is people want to say that we don't have defined communities. We did have defined communities. Most of these black communities that tore up in 2021 were the communities that were abandoned by white people that got out of these communities. And then once they got out, we moved into them and thought we were high on the hog. So the plan was put in place. Once we started moving in, we got to get these Negroes out. So they ain't put no money into the communities. They ain't fixed nothing. So what they gonna lie and tell everybody, oh, they just keep the neighborhood junky. Okay, but why you ain't picking up the trash on the side of the road? You see what I'm saying? It was all a plan. So yeah, you Tulsa got what you're looking for if you're looking for it. Trust me when I tell you.
Gotcha. All right, we got the infamous Demetra K. She has finally made it into the spot. Hey, Demetra, I don't know if you saw in the New Black Media News, there was a picture of race soldiers posing with a captured suspect, and it reminded me of an episode of Roots: The Next Generation. What were you able to see that? And what are your thoughts on that picture?
You mean the picture I just sent you? So I actually just sent Donovan a picture. If you could put that up on the back of your screen, because I know Gary doesn't have the ability to do it. And hello, you guys, by the way, I have to finish my dinner. I've been running around all day, so apologies for being late. So again, if you guys haven't already, if you can share this live so everybody can get the information and join in on the conversation, we would greatly appreciate it. So as soon as Donovan puts the picture up, then I'll go ahead and get into it. Says, and Parias, I see a comment said, what's best for us is to Marcus Garvey, our collective access up out of here. Yes. And while Donovan's putting it up, Marcus Garvey wanted us to leave. We were going to Liberia. That was the plan anyway. And he, at the time in the early 1900s, had about 3 to 6 million of us ready to go back. And he actually started Pan-Africanism, if you will, to where Black people all over the world would get together and leave and go, back to Africa. But of course, that didn't happen because a Negro, they always send one of us to undo the progress that Black people are trying to make. And so you guys know the history. Hi, Anthony. And I always see you on Pastor Thaddeus's YouTube. So anyway, you guys, as you guys can see here, this is a picture. Now, this picture, obviously, is of a Black man who was captured in Mississippi. Now, and this is not 1821. 1921 even. This is 2021, where a Black man was on the run. He was wanted for a bank robbery or something like that. And so he was hiding out, I guess, in the woods or whatever it is in Mississippi. And when these race soldiers caught up to him, this is what they decided to do. As you guys see, they took a picture of him and I don't know why he's smiling. Maybe they told him to, but look at their faces. They look like we caught one. Right? They almost look like they're posing. You ever see white people when they kill a bear or a giraffe or something and they pose with it? That's what it reminds me of. And as Donovan was saying too, and I think maybe Gary was saying about slavery, this is where we're heading back to. This again is 2021, and they are posing with a Black man as if they caught a runaway slave, right? Because this is what they used to do. And if you guys aren't familiar with that, police officers they originate from slavery. They were patty rollers, the slave patrol, and this police department in America was created from slavery in order to catch runaway slaves. And so if that is not very eerie to you, I don't know what is. But again, this is not 1921. This is 2021 when that photo was taken. And so those police officers and that police department are under fire, if you will. There's backlash. But it's just backlash. I mean, I think they should have been very afraid to even take that picture. And I don't know how we ended up seeing it. Maybe they posted it somewhere. But, you know, backlash, like, what we going to do? What we going to do?
Well, and that's the thing. You know, look how comfortable they are taking a picture like this. And this isn't like the first time. I mean, you mean to tell me, I mean, they enjoy doing this stuff because with everything that's been going on in the last year toward Black people in law enforcement, you think that these people would have the decency, but we know, you know, because their race is a certain type of, they're a warring type race, to be like, you know what, let's keep our heads down. Let's not do anything that might be provocative. They don't care. I mean, just the callousness to even take this picture, knowing that George Floyd was murdered just last year on videotape, and just say, you know what, we got this brother here. Let's go take a picture with him and show him that we, you know, we got all this stuff. I don't understand how, as a people, just like the 5-star said, that we don't want to fight back. We just go from tragedy to tragedy, and we think that, you know, we deserve the way we are being treated because we don't want to help ourselves, and we feel so helpless. And I get so frustrated because it just doesn't make sense to me. It's not human nature to let somebody punch you in the face and not defend yourself. Every animal, self-preservation, they defend themselves. And after all of this shit, you still got these bootlicks and these civil rights era people talking about, let this man bash you in the head, but pray for him. I'm sorry, that's just not correct.
Well, I think you calling them bootlicks. I think that we really need to just tighten up on our lingo. Call them cowards. They ain't gonna do shit about what you see on that picture. They ain't did shit about George Zimmerman. They ain't did shit about the man killing Trayvon. They ain't did shit about Tamir Rice's murderer, Breonna Taylor's murderer. And the reason that they've not done shit is because they're cowards. They're cowards. See, a coward is gonna pick on somebody that he know he can do what he need to do to a bully. You know, that's how they operate. So what they'll do is they'll go pick on somebody in the Black community and punch them around for stepping on their damn tennis shoes or something. But these people here can actually slap the shit out of us, and they don't do nothing about it. They cowards. They not gonna do nothing. As much as we want them to, they not gonna do nothing, man. It's been proven. They not gonna do nothing. Motherfucker can walk up and slap your gal on the ass. You're a white boy, they ain't gonna do nothing. They ain't gonna do nothing. And that is part of that reason is 400 years of trauma that we've been dealing with. Especially down south where Negroes were either beat half to death or they were hung or whatever. They, how it went out. And the thing is, it has to be a cowardice act to not address it because, nigga, you ain't been beaten the last 20, 30 years. You ain't got hung. So I'm going to step out here like a gladiator. It's 40 white boys waiting on me. And it's 40 of us. I look up, I'm finna go to war. And I'm by my motherfucking self. They cowards, man. That's why these women ain't protected, because they cowards. They ain't gonna do shit. They put up some more pictures like that. They fuck around and have old 5-star on that motherfucker throwing up the tray. They ain't gonna do shit about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know it's kind of hard to see, but they also have dogs in the pictures with them. Now, if that ain't a slave hunt, I don't know what it is. But they said they also use drones to find him in the woods, and he's allegedly, is what the article is saying, an armed robber.
Look at Anthony. Can you see Anthony Brown's comment? Where it says they no type of consequences due to their chief sheriff condoning this bullshit. You see that? The consequences they should fear is the consequences coming from us. Why we need to wait on the oppressor to do anything to the oppressor? They're not gonna do it. Or they're gonna water it down. They should be in fear of what a black man gonna do to them. That's what they should be in fear of. But we run around here with a pack of cowards, man. Cowards running packs.
Yeah, my girl Robin Cooper says, did y'all hear about that Philly detective? And it came out today, this afternoon, with charged with sodomizing black men over his 35-year career.
Buck breaking. I actually ordered the Tariq Nasheed DVD. I started watching half of it, but I'm going to watch it, the rest of it, with my family over the weekend. But that's buck breaking, you know. And I impress upon everybody to get the DVD to watch it. Buck breaking is basically what they did in slavery, to break the black man down. And when I say they, I meant this plantation owner would sodomize the black man, and usually the biggest black man, the strongest black man on the plantation in front of everybody, to break him down and to instill fear in everyone else. And so, you know, I'm going to say this without getting Gary in trouble on his channel, but those type of people, let's say that sheriff, that's what they engage in. That's who they are. They are the originators of that type of behavior. You guys know what I'm saying, that type of behavior. That's what they do. Like, it's not shocking, but what is shocking is, how is it that you are doing that to black men over 35 years and we just now hearing about it? Like, what, you know, and you guys, Amadou Diallo, you guys heard of him in New York. He was the black man that was sodomized with a broomstick by the NYPD police officers, to the point of, you know, completely destroying him, you know. And they're supposed to just take, and it was, you know, mistaken identity and all, just the nonsense, right? Supposed to take this man down to the precinct and book him. You ain't supposed to be doing all that to people, but that's who they are. They sick. They're sick. But the problem is we allow them to continue doing that kind of stuff. Like, when are we gonna say enough is enough? Like, he's comfortable. That's just like with Jeffrey Dahmer. His meal of choice was black men and boys. Or they even said at one point in time that Jeffrey Dahmer, one of his victims, got loose and ran free, and the police took him back. The police took the little boy back because he was like, oh, he's my friend. And they took him back to Jeffrey Dahmer, and Jeffrey Dahmer killed him. So that's where the problem is that everybody feels so free to do these things to black people. But Gary, like you said, it's because black people are like, well, he's just running around sodomizing black men for 35 years. Well, you know, what y'all doing tonight? Like, that's a problem.
Well, I don't think they should complain about somebody sodomizing a black man for 35 years when they've been demasculating us for 35. They can't complain about it. You want us to be soft. You want us to be soft as a box of booty. So when the white, see, that's the thing. I'm reading this comment from Donovan. Church lady, yes, not all Republican stuff is bad. Not all Democratic stuff is bad. But both parties are bad for black people. Black people are bad for black people. Black people, the Democratic Party wouldn't be bad for black people if they stopped putting them crooks in there. So it's the black people who keep doing this shit to themselves, man. And we look for an outlet to blame shit on people when we know we done continuously screwed up. So that's why I'm telling you, if you do, let me ask y'all a question. Do you really think that you could do something to somebody in my family and I ain't gonna do nothing about it? Y'all two on a personal level. Do you really think 5 Star gonna sit there and don't do nothing about it?
Mm-mm.
You know why? Because you can see it in my eye. If they can see it in your eye, they ain't gonna do it. But they already know we ain't nothing but a bunch of demasculated punk bitches, and we ain't gonna do nothing about it.
And let me say this really quick. Sunlight, yes, I do stand corrected. It was Abner Louima. It's funny because I actually did a story about it They were talking to him, 20 so years later after it happened. So yeah, that's the kind of stuff they do to us, and we just kind of do a shoulder shrug every time it happens. But I want to transition to something else that's kind of in step with this. So you guys know Barack Obama now, he's not in office anymore. He's making the rounds and he's admitting to stuff. And one of the things he admitted to was, it says, Obama says institutional constraints kept him from commenting on killings of Black Americans. And so he also goes on to say, because he has some symposium for his Brother's Keeper thing that actually took place on the year anniversary of George Floyd's death. And he said, let's see, I want to be correct in this. Move out of my way so I can see. It says Obama noted that there were several high-profile killings of Black Americans, including Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, and Alton Sterling during his time in office, but said he didn't want to interfere with the Justice Department's investigation into the cases. Quote, he says, I did not in any way want to endanger their capacity to go in, investigate, and potentially charge perpetrators, which meant I could not come down or appear to come down decisively in terms of guilt or innocence. Then he also goes on to say, keep in mind, in 2012, I won, but I didn't win congressmen, and we didn't win a bunch of governorships back. We didn't win a bunch of state legislators. And so all the reform initiative that we were coming up with and the ideas that had been generated, we weren't able to translate into a bold set of initiatives as I would have wanted.
Obama, Barack Obama. Let me tell you something, big homie. You're the prime example of the coward that I was talking about. You and Joe Biden have something in common. Y'all both had the House and the Senate your first 2 years. You could have done whatever you wanted to do. Now, I will say Biden got a little more nuts than you, Obama, because he'll step out there, even if he's disingenuous, he'll step out there and say, what they did to George Floyd was wrong. This guy should go to jail. Obama, you didn't even do that. You funky son of a bitch. You ain't that, man. I don't give a fuck about Barack Obama. He was a joke from day one. And here's the thing. When Obama won his second term, you could have done whatever you wanted to do, young man, because you couldn't be president no more. You were lame duck. There is no excuses for your failures. Your wife had more balls than you, clown.
Yeah, I mean, but yet you still have people out here defending Obama. And, I kind of wonder, how do you defend something that he hasn't done? He hasn't done anything. What are you defending? There's nothing specific for Black people that was put out there by the Obama administration. But one of the things I think that we need to talk about, I think it's important, and I don't care what you guys think, I think Bill Cosby was innocent. Yesterday, he went in front of the Pennsylvania Parole Board and he was denied parole. Not because they felt he was still guilty and all this other stuff. They wanted him they were going to release him if he agreed to attend offender training and whatever else they do as a sex offender or whatever they have to go through to do that. Bill Cosby said, paraphrasing, I am not going to do that. I am an innocent person. No, I'm going to stand on principle. So what do you guys think about that?
Well, really quick, I want to just give my 2 cents about the whole Obama situation. So, this is another time, a second or third time that Obama has come out and said, because, originally a couple of months ago, he talked about, reparations, I didn't want to really, and I'm paraphrasing at this point, piss off white people. So I didn't really go for reparations too much. But yeah, I think Black people are owed reparations. And so here he is again, because, to me, it sounds like he's hearing Black people now, not that we weren't saying it then, but especially now, he's hearing Black people say, you didn't do nothing for Black people at all. You didn't do anything. You just, and police murders of Black people actually went up during the Obama administration. And then here you are, now that you have no power, saying, well, I would have said something, but it just didn't. Just keep it real. You were never going to do anything for Black people. You were more concerned about white people than you were anybody else, and you cared what they thought about you, opposed to actually helping to move the ball for Black people. He had Eric Holder, and he had Anita Gupta in, as the the Attorney General and the Assistant Attorney General. And they were Eric Holder, the Black man, Anita Gupta, she's an Indian woman of color, I guess you could call her. And between both of them, they had the power to do stuff to help Black people. And they did. They could have filed federal charges on all of those people that he named, they're perpetrators, but they chose not to do it. When George Zimmerman got found out not guilty, they didn't step in, to file charges. They just let it go. And clearly, George Zimmerman was guilty. But Obama gave us that whole, well, if I had a son, I would be scared. That's basically all he said in regards to Trayvon Martin. And so it's not that they didn't have the power. It's not hard to file federal charges. They just didn't want to do that. But it was very telling what he said. We didn't have the governors and we didn't have this. And so we didn't want to blow what it is we were already doing. And notice how he too said, oh, I was already president in 2012. Well, if you were already president, what were you waiting for? Right. Because he was 2008 and then 2012 was his second presidency. So he did not want to do that. But also notice now that he's out of office, look at all the money and opportunities that have come to him. See, it wasn't about Black people. It was about what was up the road for him. That's why he didn't bring those people to justice.
Yeah, well, it's not even just those people. Think about this. He didn't prosecute anybody from Wall Street. Nobody got prosecuted. He didn't prosecute anybody from the Bush administration for an illegal war that cost over, they say, over 100,000 Iraqi lives for a war that was not necessary. So, yeah, he has a lot of issues when it comes to justice.
His wife just needs to call him, because I know they're not together every day. She just needs to call him on his cell phone and just tell him to shut his pussy ass up. That's how I feel about it, because you ain't did nothing for Black people. You wasn't gonna do nothing for Black people, and now you feeling like you one of us, a nigga, huh? They ain't fucking with you like that. You ain't got no power no more, but you had all the power in the world. The first African American Black president. And you
literal African American.
You ain't did shit. Nut clown. Go find the Universe Soul Circle and get your bitch ass back in the clown section.
Right. But
and Marty, you say Loretta Lynch. Yeah, Loretta Lynch came after Anita Gupta. Anita Gupta was assistant attorney general. Loretta Lynch was actually the attorney general after Eric Holder. So
after the Republicans ran Eric Holder off, exactly. But
read this comment. Obama ain't did a motherfucking thing, man. When people get on Obama ass, y'all look for anything to say this man did something. This man ain't did a motherfucking thing. Trump woke Black people up.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
but to survive when Trump was in there. Obama a sucker. And anybody riding with that bitch a sucker.
Yeah, Thunder, on that question there, I mean, you're saying Obama woke a lot of people up to the fact that neither party gives a damn about Black people, and I'm grateful for this, but isn't that what the Biden and Harris administration is actually telling you right now?
Exactly.
And I think it should also be said that Obama didn't wake us up to that, and we're still not awakened to that. Marcus and Malcolm, Elijah, Farrakhan, all of them, and so many more tried to wake Black people up. So I just think, I'm not, trying to come down on you at all, but I just think it's disingenuous to say that it was Obama that woke us up. Maybe he woke us up to the fact that Black people and political offices really just don't give a damn about Black people. But the people I mentioned been trying to wake us up. They told us that neither party cares about black people, and then we wait till we vote all these black people in before we say okay, and then but I'm saying in general, voted Biden and Kamala in, and we're seeing that. So like, are we really awake? Like, I like, what's really going on here? So it wasn't Obama; it was so many other people before him. But Donovan, what were you saying about Bill Cosby?
Well, let me address this a 5-star. Bill Cosby was given a parole hearing yesterday, and he was denied basically because he refused to go to offender training for sexual whatever that he has to go through, because he actually, and I believe he's innocent as well, because again, that, you could go into it all you want, but he was denied parole. And we talk about these punks that we have within our community. Most what's that guy, Takashi 6ix9ine, whatever that clown is that runs around? This guy will,
Takeshi.
Yeah, Takeshi, whatever. These guys will take a plea deal just to get out of prison as quickly as possible. But here's an 80-something-year-old man that's standing on his principle, and he said he refused to be released because he says that he's innocent. What's your take on that, 5-star?
I think that it's an atrocity that he even in there. Bill Cosby is innocent. He's guilty of trying to buy NBC. That's what he's guilty of, and he made some folks upset. As far as him taking a deal, if he feels he didn't do it, then you don't take that deal. You never admit to it, no matter how long you got to sit there. Bill Cosby will be just like a bunch of other people that have been released from prison, and then 25 years later, they found out that the whole damn story was fabricated. I mean, Bill Cosby ain't did a motherfucking thing to nobody that didn't want something done to him. That's all it boils down to with me. I mean, I think it's just straight up BS. You're going to get this man all this time when you got people killing people on January the 6th at the Capitol, and you don't do shit to them.
Right. And let me ask you a follow-up real quick. As a studying lawyer, I mean, he was basically convicted on hearsay. So what do you think about that?
Well, I mean, if we're going to be real about it and talk about Cosby, we got to step on some toes. I mean, Bill Cosby is guilty of wanting to buy NBC. Everybody in the industry knows that. That's what it's about. Bill Cosby pissed off the wrong set of Jews. Let's just be honest. That's what it was. And when they did it, okay, they're going to go back. I mean, I don't know how you going to go get a man talking about 30 years ago. 30 years ago. You ain't got no physical evidence, no witnesses, no nothing. You don't have nothing. But you're going to lock this man up like that because he wanted to buy NBC. And he pissed off the wrong set of Jews. I'm just telling you what it is. So, I applaud him, 83 years old, and won't bow down when Takeshi 6ix9ine can't do 6 months. Will tell on his fucking mama. I salute Bill Cosby, and we need to do something. See, if we was real with it, they wouldn't have never put him in there because they knew they'd have to deal with us. That man sitting there for nothing, bro.
So I've had people tag me and stuff today about it, saying basically, why didn't he just take the class, and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, well, if you didn't do anything, you were innocent, then, because Bill Cosby said that. He said it a couple years back, right after he got in there. He says, I'll probably do all 10 years because when you go before the parole board, you have to admit that you're guilty. And he says, I'm never going to do that. So I'm looking at doing 10 years, and I guess I got to be all right with that. So, of course, he goes, and they want him to take these classes again. You got to admit guilt, and then you got to register. Well, he's already got to do that, but it's like, I'm standing on 10 toes down that I didn't do this. And so a lot of people don't understand now. He should just go on and take it. This man has been on this planet over 80 years. You think he's going to risk his integrity now? Did the man do some things, that was morally wrong outside of his marriage? Yeah, probably. But if Camille didn't have a problem with it, why should we have a problem with it? And I see somebody says, well, did he admit it? He admitted to administering whatever it was, the pills, but he did not admit to rape. And this is why I understand Like, people don't read and do the research. Oh, he raped somebody. He raped those women. Okay, well, if he raped somebody, why didn't the state pull him up on rape charges? He was never pulled up on rape charges. It was some sexual something, something or other.
Let me ask you a question. I don't know, but I mean, y'all saying he raped somebody because he gave him a pill. Well, a goddamn Quaalude back then was your mileage up to date. Y'all ain't calling it rape when a motherfucker give you a pill nowadays and you running around the motherfucking house buck naked, sticking your head in the blender while he paying in the crack of your ass. So it's the same shit.
And I think people also need to realize is that, so those are the drugs of choices back then. That's just what people did, the Quaaludes and, all of those things. And also the lady, I can't remember her name, but the lady who they actually, because they only found him guilty on the one lady, her case, the statute of limitations was about to be up in less than 10 days, give or take. Plus, he had already settled with her for, I don't know, I think it was $3 million, maybe I'm wrong, but somewhere around that area. So he had already settled with her, and they brought the charges back up. So y'all got to look more into it than white people telling y'all that Bill Cosby, was a rapist and he did this, that, the other. Was he a pervert? Yeah. Well, what man ain't, goddammit? But for y'all to, but to your point, Gary, that's why they do that to our people, because they know we gonna go right along with it. Yes, he did.
Well, let me ask you a question. Which one did it raw? Bill Cosby or Bill Clinton?
Right.
Which one did it raw? Bill Clinton got his dick sucked.
Right.
Yeah, so, I mean.
Mario Como, right now.
Quaaludes were the drug of choice back then. Just like y'all on them handlebars and these mollies nowadays. That's what that was back then. But see, some of y'all just look for a reason to condemn people, man. You just look for a reason to do it, man. Bill Clinton or motherfucking Bill Cosby. Ain't nobody saying nothing about Epstein no more.
Right.
All these motherfucking politicians were fucking them little girls. And ain't nobody got nothing to say about it. But we talking about Bill Cosby?
And
like Allen Iverson, Donovan, practice? We talking about Bill Cosby?
Right. And then, a lot of people don't remember, if you read the actual case, Bill admitted to providing pills. He didn't force those girls to take no damn pills. Whatever, we don't know the situation with that. But then you also got to remember he was prosecuted by a person who ran for district attorney, and that was his signature campaign promise, that I'm going to convict Bill Cosby. And we go right along with it. And he was in Pennsylvania, mostly in a white jurisdiction. And this is what happens. That's why we kind of keep telling you guys, stop avoiding jury duty. Stop, know who your judges are, your county judges and stuff. It's that important. I mean, there's so many. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but I've studied law. There are so many, even a couple of other lawyers have said, and judges have said, there are so many misdeeds within this trial that they're just amazed that it hasn't been overturned or retried by now.
Man, let me tell you something, Al. I ain't even want to go there. You say R. Kelly is guilty. R. Kelly ain't no guilty than Jay-Z fucking Foxy Brown at 14. C. Murder fucking Monica at 15. Ain't no more guilty. Say what you want. They go after who they want to go after. Bill Cosby wanted to buy NBC. My man Prince wanted his motherfucking masters back. He did. I need y'all to look at some of this shit. Do you know what the masters would be worth if he'd got them back? You see what I'm saying? If people don't get it, man. If R. Kelly guilty, he guilty. But ain't nobody saying nothing about when somebody, and I ain't gonna never talk down on him until they talk down on Jay-Z and they talk down on C. Murder. It's verifiable that they were sleeping with the motherfucking girls when they were 14 years old.
Yeah, unfortunately for R. Kelly, though, he was doing the most. But you know what? I don't think R. Kelly should be in jail and the parents not be in jail. I think they're all culpable. I think they all need to be hand in hand, linked
The
together on
parents,
the same game.
handlers, him,
All,
everybody.
all of them. Yep, all of them need to be on the chain gang together. So we got a couple of more minutes, and I just kind of want to loosen up the topic a little bit tonight. So I'm just gonna I throw the statement out here, and you guys in the comment section. This is really for the men. You guys can fill in the blanks if you will. So I actually saw this from Michael Basin, and he says a man loses interest in a woman the moment she blanks. Donovan, go first, then Gary, then you guys can throw it in the comment section.
Say the question again.
A man loses interest in a woman the moment she blanks.
Farts.
Is that it, brother?
That's what I got. I lose interest. I mean, or poot. I'm sorry. Women don't fart. They poot. Sorry. Go ahead.
I say you lose interest when they become disingenuous when it pertains to money.
Do tell.
They start off like it ain't about money. And they just feeling the dude. And all of a sudden, the money, asking for money starts to increase. And then you start to see that it's really not about you, it's about the money. And a lot of guys at that point, they don't want nothing to do with them.
Okay, so that makes sense. So at first she's like, hey, I'm really into you. It really don't matter. We can go to McDonald's and get 2 for $5 or whatever it is. And then it becomes more about what that damn steak and what is it, steak 48. I've actually looked on that menu too. And I was like, so basically you got to spend $100 per person at this restaurant. $100 per person? Bet y'all better than me out there. Okay, so I'm looking at the comment section, and Ragnar, how you doing? It says, proves she is irresponsible. So that's when a man loses interest in a woman, when she proves that she's irresponsible. If you can go into a little bit more detail, I would love to see it. Let me look at some more of these comments.
I'm going to tell you, a man becomes disinterested in some women when they pull that goddamn waist train off and all that shit flied everywhere.
Oh my God. So basically she's not who she, yeah, I guess I could see that. You at the club, she's shaped like a Coke bottle. Then you get her back to the crib and it's like, pow! Yeah, I mean, I guess I could see it.
I mean, she looking like Beyonce in the club from the body. And then she get home and take off that goddamn waist trainer, and that motherfucker looking like Kim from the Parkers. So I'm just like, no, that's being disingenuous. I'm just being honest, man. I mean, you tricking a motherfucker with the motherfucking waist trainers, man. That's why I be looking for the buttons in the back, man.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up in regards to that, because here in California, at least in the people that I've been seeing, you'll see these, especially the Hispanics, use a lot of body shapers. And then I had a friend that I knew, and I'm sorry, when I met her, I thought she was already shaped. I was like, woo, she has a nice shape. She worked out and stuff. And then I saw her, without, I guess she didn't have the weight trainer on. I didn't even recognize her. Just didn't recognize, because the body was just like zoop, and it was all messed up.
All right, so I see here, oh gosh, where to go? Black Ricardo, how you doing? You say them draws come down and poom smell bad. Bad first impression. Oh my God. Like, how often has that happened? I'm scared to even ask. You ain't got to answer that. All right, so let's see here. What else do we have? And then Ragnar, he says she can't pay her own bills, can't get to work on time. Oh. Okay, yeah, I guess that would be a turn off. She can't pay her own bills. And Parias, you say, when she take off that wooden leg, I'm gonna get you sucker style. So is that the eyelashes and the wigs and all of that? Is that what you're talking about? Okay. Oh my God. Well, and then Thunder, you said when she becomes a liability. Now I'm assuming she's a liability before y'all get committed. I mean, really, nobody should be a liability to each other. It should be like my father says, either you're an asset or you're a deficit in a relationship. You're either adding or you're taking away. So I guess if you mean in that respect, so yeah, that would kind of make somebody lose interest. And so we are at the hour mark. So Gary, what you getting ready to get into?
I'm finna go back out here and mingle with the natives of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and just be around my people, man. A lot of Panthers from all over the country are here. A lot of black nationalist groups, a lot of gun club groups. Tomorrow, I think it's a 1,000-man gun march that we'll be a part of. So, I mean, I'm just gonna kick it, man, and hang out with my people.
Has anybody heard anything from the NFAC? Are they kind of still just laying low? You think will they be out there at all?
Nah, I don't think they're gonna be here. They not gonna be here. They haven't heard anything from them.
Yeah, they kind of just disappeared. And Thunder, I see your comment says when she shows up to your job to start an argument. Oh yeah, that's a no-go, ladies. Don't do that. You need him to bring home the money, getting his ass when he get home, but not at the job. So anyway, Gary, and then Curtis, she said when she starts talking shit to you, but you're doing right. Mm-hmm. I'm just kidding. So Gary, go ahead and take us out of here.
That's gonna do it for the day. I mean, for the week, it's been a good week. And on behalf of my good friend Donovan Sadiq, Demetra K, a 5-star general, we look forward to hanging out with you Monday, man. Until then, I'll let you.